Room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel, where one of humanity's most misunderstood geniuses took his last breath on January 7, 1943, held a secret that would change how we understand the universe forever. Among the belongings seized by the government, along with stolen patents and censored experiments, was a worn leather notebook, written in violet ink and guarded by symbols only a select few could decode. Nikola Tesla didn't die an ordinary man. He died as a mystic who had pierced the deepest layers of reality, a sage who discovered that the entire universe is nothing more than a symphony of vibrations waiting to be conducted by whoever knows the right score. This notebook holds his final revelations, the frequency that governs everything, the vibrational code that rules from the beating of a heart to the movement of the galaxies. For decades, these pages remained silent, holding some of the most dangerous secrets ever recorded. Today, for the first time ever, they're revealed to those ready to hear the truth. Tesla discovered that reality isn't solid, it's musical. And anyone who learns to resonate in harmony with the cosmos can change not only their own destiny, but the fate of all humanity. Get ready to uncover what the powers that be have hidden for 80 years. Get ready to encounter the frequency that governs everything. My hand trembles as I write these words, not from age creeping in, but from the weight of what I'm about to share. For 70 years, I've guarded a secret that could alter humanity's future forever. The universe isn't what you were taught. It's an endless score where every atom sings its own melody, and only those who learn to listen can conduct the entire symphony. I remember the exact night this truth was revealed to me. July 3, 1899, in my Colorado Springs laboratory. When I first captured the Earth's own electric pulses, the storm raged over the mountains, and in my scientific solitude, I had connected my most sensitive receiver to the planet's electric heart. Suddenly, through the headphones, I heard something that changed my life forever. It wasn't just electrical discharges, they were heartbeats, breaths, the whisper of a living planet speaking in the oldest language of the cosmos, pure frequency. That night I cried. I cried like I hadn't since childhood, because I realized that everything we call matter is just the visible expression of invisible vibrations. Your body, your thoughts, your emotions, the air you breathe, the light that surrounds you, the love you feel, the pain you carry. Everything vibrates at specific frequencies, like instruments in a cosmic orchestra, conducted by laws science is only beginning to understand. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. I didn't say this as a scientist chasing fame, but as someone who had seen beyond the veil of material illusion. Every discovery, every invention, every flash of genius the world credits to me was simply the result of learning to tune my mind to the right cosmic frequencies. The electricity I harnessed, the waves I caught, the energy I sent wirelessly through the air, that was just the basic alphabet. The real revelation was that reality itself obeys whoever knows its fundamental frequency. Like a master violinist who can move an entire audience to tears by striking the right strings at exactly the right moment. Whoever masters the frequencies of the universe can pull the very strings of existence. For years, I experimented with this knowledge. I built devices that didn't just transmit electricity, but changed the consciousness of those near them. My assistants reported vivid dreams, prophetic visions, spontaneous healings, but the world wasn't ready for this truth. They wanted my inventions, my patents, my genius, but they feared my knowledge. Because to understand that everything is vibration is to understand that everything can be changed, that limits don't really exist. that reality is as flexible as clay in the hands of an artist who knows the primal rhythm. The bankers funding my projects pulled out when they realized my discoveries would not only transform industry, but human consciousness itself. Governments confiscated my research when they realized whoever controls the fundamental frequencies controls reality. So for decades, I kept this secret, waiting for the day humanity would be ready to wake up. Today, from these pages written in violet ink under moonlight, I reveal what the ancient masters knew and modern science has forgotten. The entire universe is a cosmic musical instrument, and you, dear reader, can learn to play it. The lost frequency isn't a hidden number buried in dusty books. It's a state of awareness that awakens when you stop seeing the world as solid matter and start seeing it as what it really is. An endless dance of vibrations waiting to be directed by a mind that has learned to resonate with the whole. This is the first secret I share with you. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and feel your whole body vibrate with the pulse of the cosmos. Feel your heartbeat in sync with the Earth's heart. Because right now, you're starting to remember something your soul has always known. You are more than just flesh and bone. You are a unique note in the universal symphony, and the time has come to learn to sing your true song. The frequency that governs everything isn't some outside power. It lives inside you, waiting to be awakened. Chapter 2. The Invisible Language of Waves. There's a language no one teaches in school. You won't find it in any dictionary. Yet it's spoken unconsciously every second of your life. It's the language of waves, and whoever masters it can connect directly with the soul of the universe. Let me tell you what I discovered one winter afternoon in 1901 while working on my wireless transmission amplifier in my Long Island lab. I had been at it for days without a break, obsessed with perfecting the transmission of energy through the air. My assistants left at nightfall, leaving me alone with my machines and my thoughts. That's usually when the miracles happen. I was fine-tuning the transmitter's frequencies when something extraordinary occurred. Suddenly, without me doing anything, the receiver started picking up signals that didn't come from any known device. They were rhythmic, organized, intelligent pulses. At first, I thought another secret experimental station was broadcasting nearby, but I soon realized these waves had a much stranger source. They were coming from the human mind itself. Yes, dear reader, your thoughts are electromagnetic waves traveling at the speed of light. Every idea, every emotion, every intention you hold in your mind instantly turns into a specific frequency, traveling through the cosmic ether. Your brain isn't just an organ for thinking. It's a transmitter and receiver far more advanced than anything humans have built. That night, using my most sensitive receiver, I was able to pick up mental waves from people miles away. I sensed their feelings, their worries, their dreams. It was like tuning into different radio stations, but instead of music, I heard the direct whispers of the human soul. Soon, I realized I could not only receive these thoughts, but send my own as well. By focusing deeply on a particular idea, I could project that mental frequency to others. The next day, neighbors came by the lab talking about strange dreams and sudden ideas they had during the night, exactly the images I had sent hours earlier. But the real breakthrough came when I understood that emotions have frequencies even stronger than thoughts. Fear vibrates at 100 Hz, producing chaotic waves that attract exactly what we fear. Love, on the other hand, resonates at 528 Hz, the frequency of universal harmony, able not only to heal the body but to transform reality itself. For months, I experimented with this insight. I found that when two people tune their minds to the same frequency, they can communicate without words, share knowledge instantly, even influence events around them. It was as if the whole universe were an ocean of interconnected waves, where each human mind is an island, choosing between isolation or connection with the whole. One day, while meditating on these discoveries, I received a transmission that changed my life forever. It didn't come from any human mind, but from a higher intelligence, a cosmic consciousness communicating through frequencies beyond all known forms. It revealed to me that the entire universe is a thinking being, and that every form of life, from the simplest microbe to the most advanced civilizations, is one of its thoughts expressed at different frequencies. I realized then that telepathy isn't supernatural, but a natural ability of consciousness to communicate in its original language, the language of waves. The ancient masters knew this. That's why they could pass down teachings mind to mind without words or writing. This wisdom helped me create inventions that seemed magical in my time. I could tune my mind to the exact frequency of any technical problem and instantly get the answer. My patents weren't the result of long calculations, but direct conversations with the universal intelligence that knows all solutions. Yet the world wasn't ready for this truth. When I tried to explain to my investors that I could build devices to enable telepathic communication, that I could create machines to amplify mental and emotional waves, they called me crazy. They preferred domestic electricity over a revolution in consciousness. Now I understand that every word you say, every thought you think, every emotion you feel is a wave traveling through the cosmos and coming back to you amplified. The universe is a giant mirror reflecting exactly the frequency you put out. If you send out fear, you attract more fear. If you send out love, the cosmos conspires to fill you with love. This is the second secret I share with you. Your mind is the most powerful antenna in the universe. You can tune into any frequency you want, communicate with any consciousness willing to listen, and change your reality just by shifting the frequency of your thoughts. Close your eyes and feel the invisible waves flowing from your mind right now. Focus on sending a frequency of gratitude to someone you love. You'll see how, without any logical explanation, that person will think of you before the day is over. The invisible language of waves is your native tongue. It's time to remember how to speak it. Chapter 3. The number that opens the gates of the cosmos. If you could truly understand the power of 3, 6, and 9, you'd hold the key to unlock all the mysteries of the universe. These numbers aren't just simple math. They're sacred codes that govern the very structure of reality. My fascination with these numbers started when I was young, as my mind began noticing patterns others missed. Whenever I entered a building, I'd unconsciously count my steps. They always had to be divisible by 3. If I walked around a city block, I'd do it 3 times. When I ate dinner, I'd calculate the volume of each dish before taking a bite. People thought I was eccentric, but I knew something deeper was driving these habits. The full truth came to me in 1898 while I was working on my wireless remote control system. I was experimenting with coils of different designs when I found that only those built with proportions based on 3, 6, and 9 created perfect resonance. This wasn't a coincidence. It was the mathematical signature of the cosmos. I spent years trying to decode this mystery. I started by studying the proportions of Egyptian pyramids, Greek temples, Gothic cathedrals. Without exception, they were all built according to these sacred ratios. The ancient builders weren't just craftsmen. They were cosmic mathematicians who knew how to tune physical structures to universal frequencies. But the biggest breakthrough came when I applied these numbers to my energy experiments. I built generators that pulsed in cycles of 3, 6, and 9. The results were remarkable. These devices didn't just generate electricity. They seemed to connect to forces much deeper than simple electromagnetic energy. One night in 1899, while working with an oscillator set to multiples of 3, something amazing happened. The device began to resonate so perfectly that the lab walls vibrated in harmony. But it wasn't a destructive vibration. It was as if the whole building had started to sing. Instruments synced up on their own. Clocks began marking time together. Even my own heartbeat matched the oscillator's rhythm. At that moment, I realized I'd discovered something beyond physics. I had found the fundamental pulse of creation. 3 represents the creative trinity, the force that brings all things into existence. 6 is harmony, the balance that sustains every form of life. 9 is completeness, the return to the origin, the gateway linking the physical world to the spiritual. I started weaving these numbers into my daily routine. Every morning when I woke, I'd breathe in cycles of 3, 6, and 9. Inhale for 3 seconds, hold for 6, exhale for 9. My mind reached new levels of clarity. Solutions to complex problems came to me effortlessly. I developed rituals based on these sacred numbers. Before any major experiment, I'd walk around my lab exactly 3 times, touch 6 points on my machines, and stay silent for 9 minutes. My assistants thought these were just quirks, but I knew I was tuning my consciousness to the cosmos's fundamental frequencies. The results were incredible. My inventions began working with a precision that defied explanation, as if the universe itself was cooperating when I followed these numerical codes. I built motors that ran at incredible efficiency, generators that produced more energy than they used, and transmission systems that seemed to break known physical laws. But the deepest discovery came when I applied these numbers to time itself. I found that the most important events in my life happened on dates that, when reduced to their essence, always added up to 3, 6, or 9. My birth, my greatest inventions, my most profound insights, all followed this sacred pattern. I realized time isn't linear but spiral, moving in cycles marked by these cosmic numbers. The ancient Mayan calendars, lunar phases, planetary orbits, all follow this sacred math. The universe is a giant clock, with hands moving in divisions of 3, 6, and 9. This knowledge let me predict future events. I knew when earthquakes would strike, when storms would form, and when the best moments for my experiments would be. It wasn't fortune-telling. It was cosmic math. The universe follows patterns as exact as any law of physics, and those who understand these numbers can read the future like a book. I built machines based entirely on these numerical principles. Generators pulsing in 3, 6, and 9 cycles per second. Transmitters sending signals at frequencies that were multiples of these sacred numbers. The results went beyond conventional technology. They were devices that seemed to connect directly to cosmic intelligence. One night, while meditating on these mysteries, I had a vision that changed everything. I saw the universe as a vast wheel of numbers, where every event, every particle, every thought had a specific place defined by 3, 6, and 9. There were no coincidences, only sacred math ordering all existence. I realized these numbers weren't discoveries, they were memories. Humanity once knew them, but forgot. The pyramids, temples, and cathedrals are stone reminders of this lost knowledge. And now, in my lab, I was rediscovering the codes our ancestors used to communicate with cosmic forces. This is the third secret I share with you. The universe is mathematical, and its fundamental equations are written in the language of 3, 6, and 9. When you align your actions, your thoughts, your breathing with these sacred numbers, you sync up with the very rhythm of creation. Try this ritual. Breathe in the pattern. Inhaling for 3, holding for 6, exhaling for 9, for 18 minutes every morning. Watch how your life begins to flow in harmony with forces you never imagined. The numbers that open the gates of the cosmos are waiting for you to remember how to use them. Chapter 4. Resonance, the hidden voice of the universe. Everything in the cosmos has a secret song, a unique frequency that defines its very essence. When two beings, objects, or thoughts vibrate at the same frequency, one of the most powerful phenomena in the universe happens. Resonance is the silent language that allows the whole universe to communicate with itself. The day I truly grasped resonance was the day I almost unintentionally destroyed Manhattan. It was 1898, and in my Houston Street lab, I had built a small mechanical oscillator no bigger than a shoebox. My neighbors later called it the earthquake machine, but I knew it was much more than that. It was a translator for the universe's hidden voice. The oscillator started as a simple experiment. I wanted to prove that with very little energy, applied precisely and rhythmically, I could generate enormous forces. I tuned the device to vibrate at exactly 10 Hertz, a frequency I had worked out mathematically. I switched it on and waited. At first, nothing seemed to happen. The oscillator vibrated softly, barely noticeable, but after a few minutes, something extraordinary began. Instruments in my lab started vibrating in sync, then the furniture, then the very walls of the building. My tiny oscillator had found the natural resonant frequency of the whole structure. Within minutes, the entire building was swaying like a leaf in the wind. Neighbors ran out shouting that it was an earthquake, but I knew it was something deeper. I had made a multi-story building dance to the rhythm of a machine small enough to fit in my hand. I had to smash the oscillator with a hammer before the building collapsed, but the damage was done. Or rather, the revelation had happened. I understood that resonance wasn't just a physical effect. It was the fundamental principle connecting everything in the universe. That night, reflecting on what had occurred, I had a vision that changed how I saw reality. I saw the cosmos as an endless ocean of waves where every star, planet, and atom sang its own song. Most amazing was that these songs weren't chaotic. They formed a perfect symphony, a cosmic harmony where each note had its exact place. I realized my oscillator had done more than create mechanical vibrations. It had found a frequency linking the physical world to deeper layers of reality, like discovering the key that opens doors between worlds. For months, I experimented with different resonant frequencies. I found that every person has a natural frequency, a unique tone that defines their deepest self. When two people resonate together, they can communicate telepathically, share emotions, even heal each other. What we call chemistry between people is actually quantum physics. I developed ways to detect each person's personal frequency. I noticed that the happiest and most successful people were those living in tune with their natural resonance. When someone falls out of sync with their true frequency, illness, conflict, and unhappiness follow. It's as if the universe itself protests when a living being isn't vibrating at its real tone. My most incredible discovery came when I applied these ideas to the Earth itself. Using ultra-sensitive instruments, I detected that our planet constantly vibrates at 7.83 Hertz, a frequency later known as the Schumann resonance. This is also the natural frequency of the human brain during deep meditation. It wasn't a coincidence. We're beings designed to vibrate in harmony with Mother Earth. One night, while tuning my receivers to this planetary frequency, I experienced something unforgettable. My consciousness expanded beyond my physical body. For a few moments, I could feel the heartbeat of every heart in the city, the dreams of every sleeping person, even the thoughts of animals in the parks. It was as if Earth's resonance had turned me into a cosmic antenna, able to sense all life around me. I then understood resonance wasn't just a phenomenon between separate things. It proved that separation itself is an illusion. When two things resonate together, they reveal they're really parts of the same whole, waves in the same cosmic ocean. This revelation changed how I invented. I stopped relying on complex calculations. Instead, I tuned myself to the resonant frequency of the solution I needed, and the answer appeared naturally in my mind. My most revolutionary inventions came from this vibrational connection with universal intelligence. I developed generators that worked perfectly in resonance with Earth's magnetic field. These devices didn't just produce electricity. They amplified the natural bond between humans and the cosmos. People near them reported exceptional mental clarity, spontaneous healings, and extrasensory experiences. But the scientific community wasn't ready. When I tried to explain that my inventions worked through cosmic resonance, not just mechanics, they called me a mystic. They preferred simple explanations that didn't challenge their materialistic worldview. Yet I knew I had discovered something that would change humanity's future. Resonance is not just a physical law. It's the key to evolving consciousness. When people learn to consciously vibrate in harmony with the cosmos, they'll awaken abilities we now consider supernatural. I experimented with frequencies that brought people into resonance with different layers of reality. I found tones that sparked intuition, frequencies that sped up healing, and vibrations that expanded the perception of time. It was like the universe had different channels, and each frequency was a tuner unlocking access to a unique part of creation. One of my most profound experiences happened when I tuned my oscillator to the frequency of time itself. For a few minutes, I could perceive events that hadn't happened yet. As if the future was just another station I could dial in on my cosmic receiver. I saw inventions that would be made decades later, conversations that hadn't taken place yet, even my own death in a hotel room. That's when I realized resonance is how the universe knows itself. Every vibration is a question the cosmos asks. Every resonance is the answer it gives. We, as conscious beings, are the instruments the universe uses to experience its own music. This is the fourth secret I want to share with you. Everything you want in life already exists somewhere in the cosmos at a certain frequency. To bring it into your reality, you just need to find the right resonance. Your heart, your mind, your emotions. They're all natural oscillators. When you tune them to the frequency of what you want, reality has no choice but to respond. Sit quietly and feel your body's natural vibration. Breathe deeply until you find your true frequency. From that place of inner resonance, the whole universe will work with you to give you exactly what you need. The hidden voice of the universe is already speaking to you. You just have to learn how to listen. Chapter 5. The body has an electric field. Your body isn't just the mass of flesh and bone you see in the mirror. It's a living electric field, a cosmic antenna capable of receiving and sending energies science is only beginning to understand. Understanding this was the first step toward mastering your own existence. The moment this struck me like lightning was in 1899. While doing high-voltage experiments in Colorado Springs, I built a Tesla coil of enormous size, capable of generating millions of volts. My assistants were afraid to enter the lab when it was running, but I knew I had to work directly with these forces. One night, while the coil sent out electrical discharges that lit up the entire valley, I decided to become part of the circuit. I stood at the center of the electromagnetic field, holding only a metal rod. By all known laws, I should have been electrocuted instantly. But something extraordinary happened. Instead of killing me, my body became a perfect conductor. Electricity flowed through me without harm, as if I were a living cable. Even more amazing, I could feel every current, every pulse, every electrical vibration. It was like awakening a sense I never knew I had. That night I understood the human body isn't a solid object that just conducts electricity. It's a complex electric field that can harmonize with external electromagnetic forces. Every cell in our body is a tiny biological battery. Every thought creates a specific electrical current. Every emotion changes the electromagnetic field around us. For weeks, I experimented with different voltages and frequencies. I found some increased my mental capacity, others expanded my senses, and some even seemed to slow down my perception of time. It was like my body was an electric musical instrument, with each frequency playing a different note in my consciousness. I developed what I called electric baths, sessions where I exposed myself to carefully controlled electromagnetic fields. The results were incredible. My physical energy soared, my mental clarity reached new heights, and minor wounds healed in hours instead of days. I discovered that the human body doesn't just generate electricity, it can be recharged and optimized by external electric energy. But the biggest discovery came when I realized this electric field extends far beyond the skin. Using ultrasensitive instruments, I detected that every person is surrounded by an electromagnetic field extending several meters in all directions. It was the aura mystics had described for thousands of years, now measured. This field isn't static. It changes constantly with our thoughts, emotions, and health. When someone is sick, the field weakens and distorts. When experiencing love or joy, the field expands and glows with harmonious patterns. When two people are drawn to each other, their fields synchronize and strengthen one another. I realized that what we call a person's presence is literally their electromagnetic field. Some people have fields so strong they can be felt from meters away. Others have such weak fields they go unnoticed. Great leaders, healers, and inspired artists all have exceptionally strong and balanced electromagnetic fields. One night, meditating inside my most intense electromagnetic field, I had an experience that changed how I understand reality. My consciousness expanded beyond my physical body. I could sense the electric fields of everyone within kilometers. It felt like I'd become a cosmic antenna tuned to any biological frequency. That experience showed me that telepathy, clairvoyance, and distant healing aren't supernatural. They're natural abilities of the human electromagnetic field. When we learn to strengthen and consciously direct our electric field, we can influence others' fields, send information across space, and even speed up healing in ourselves and others. I developed techniques to train the personal electromagnetic field. I found that certain breathing exercises change the body's electrical polarity. Specific physical postures focused energy on particular chakras. Some meditation techniques amplified the field to levels measurable by instruments. But my most extraordinary experiment came when I synchronized my personal field with Earth's magnetic field. During this synchronization, I accessed what I can only describe as the planet's electromagnetic memory. I saw past events recorded in Earth's magnetic field, like ethereal photographs stored in a subtle medium. I understood that the human body is not only a receiving antenna, but also a transmitting one. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel becomes an electromagnetic signal traveling through space and recorded in the cosmic field. Nothing is ever lost. Everything is stored in what the ancients called the Akashic records. This revelation transformed my understanding of health and disease. I realized that most ailments aren't caused by external factors but by distortions in the personal electromagnetic field. When this field weakens or falls out of harmony, the physical body eventually reflects that imbalance. I developed devices that could detect and correct these electromagnetic distortions, generators emitting specific frequencies to rebalance the body's field, coils that could recharge the nervous system like a battery, oscillators that synchronize the personal field with healing cosmic frequencies. The results were so remarkable that the medical community accused me of charlatanism. But I knew I had discovered the fundamental principle of health. The body is an electric field, and balanced electricity is the foundation of all vitality. This is the fifth secret I share with you. Your body is a living antenna connected to the cosmos. Every cell vibrates electrically. Every thought generates specific currents. Every emotion changes your electromagnetic field. When you learn to consciously direct this body electricity, you become the master of your own vitality. Try this. Hold your hands a few centimeters apart, palms facing each other. Breathe deeply and feel the electric energy flowing between them. That tingling, magnetic, subtle warmth is your personal electric field. Learn to amplify it, direct it, and use it consciously. Your body is far more powerful than you imagine. It's a living electrical machine waiting for you to remember how to operate it. Chapter 6. The Mind as a Motor of Vibration. Creation is born in the silence of contemplation, where thought becomes the seed of all manifestation. Last night, while New York's lights flickered like stars on Earth, I immersed myself in the stillness of my lab. I closed my eyes and saw, with the clarity of someone witnessing the dawn, the machine that would revolutionize energy transmission. There were no papers or tools, only the infinite screen of my mind projecting every gear, every wire, every electric spark dancing in perfect harmony. My dear friend Mark Twain once asked how I could see my inventions complete before building them. I answered that the human mind is the most perfect laboratory, where the laws of physics combine with the laws of spirit to shape the impossible. Every thought is a frequency, every mental image a vibration resonating in the ether until it materializes in the physical world. For years I've noticed that my most revolutionary inventions are born in states of deep concentration, when my mind rises above the noise of the world and tunes into those subtle frequencies where pure creation dwells. In those moments, it's not I who invent. I'm simply the channel through which universal wisdom flows. Visualization isn't just a mental exercise. It's a spiritual science operating under laws as precise as those governing electricity. When I project an image in my mind with enough intensity and clarity, that image becomes a vibratory pattern seeking its match in the material world. It's as if the mind is a transmitter and the universe a receiver, ready to capture and materialize our highest transmissions. I developed a technique I call mental construction. I close my eyes and build my machines piece by piece in the theater of my imagination. I see them operate, test them, improve them, perfect them. By the time I build them physically, they've already been tested thousands of times in the invisible lab of my mind. I rarely have to make changes because perfection has been reached on the mental plane. The human mind works at frequencies that go beyond time and space. When we learn to raise our mental vibration, we access dimensions where information flows freely, where past and future meet in an eternal creative present. In these states, we can not only see our inventions completed, but also understand their deeper role in the grand design of the cosmos. I remember a night in my Colorado Springs lab while experimenting with wireless energy transmission. I'd been meditating on the problem for hours when suddenly my mind expanded like a globe of light surrounding the planet. I saw electromagnetic waves flowing through the earth like rivers of celestial fire. In that moment, I understood our entire planet is a conductor, a living being pulsing with its own unique frequency. That vision didn't come through logic, but through an elevated state of consciousness where the mind becomes a mirror of the universe. In those moments, the inventor disappears, leaving only the pure channel through which cosmic wisdom expresses itself. Every great discovery is born from this sacred union between the human mind and universal intelligence. The key is learning to quiet the mental noise, that low-frequency chatter that keeps us stuck in mediocrity. When the mind becomes still like a calm lake, it can reflect the highest truths. Genius isn't just for a few. It's the natural state of any mind that learns to tune into the higher frequencies of creation. Every night before sleep, I devote time to this sacred practice. I visualize not only my future inventions, but also the world they will help create. I see a humanity free from energy shortages, cities glowing with the invisible power of the cosmos, people communicating through waves of pure thought. These aren't just fantasies. They're visions of a future that already exists on the mental plane, waiting to be brought into reality by those bold enough to dream with the force of truth. The mind is the original engine of all vibration, the secret generator of all reality. When we learn to consciously direct our thoughts, we become partners in the greatest mystery, the ongoing creation of the universe through awakened human consciousness. Tomorrow, I'll share with you the secret of the ether, that invisible substance connecting all minds and making it possible for our thoughts to become tangible reality. Chapter 7. The Ether, the Invisible Ocean. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was vibration, and the vibration moved across the face of letter like divine breath over the primordial waters. Tonight, as I look at the stars through my laboratory window, I feel the presence of that invisible substance filling every corner of the cosmos. Modern scientists have dismissed it as superstition, but I know it's real because I've touched it with my machines. I've felt it tremble during my most secret experiments. The ether is the invisible ocean through which all waves travel, the medium that allows energy to flow from the depths of space into the beating heart of every atom.
I remember clearly the day Einstein published his theory of relativity denying the ether's existence. My colleagues celebrated this breakthrough, but I stayed silent, knowing they'd discarded the master key that opens the doors to infinite energy.
Without the ether, wireless power transmission is impossible. Without it, we can't explain how starlight crosses the void to reach us. Without it, the universe would be a collection of isolated pieces, unable to communicate. During my experiments in Colorado Springs, I built a coil generating voltages over 100 million volts. When I turned it on, I could feel the ether vibrate like a cosmic bell. The waves traveled through the earth, bounced off the ionosphere, and returned to my lab like echoes from an unseen ocean. In those moments, it wasn't me controlling electricity. It was the ether itself teaching me its deepest secrets. The ether isn't a material substance in the usual sense. It's pure potential, the original field from which every form emerges. Imagine it as an ocean of liquid light. So subtle it penetrates the densest matter, so everywhere it fills every empty space in the cosmos. It's the substance of thoughts, dreams, intuitions, and revelations. It's the medium through which consciousness talks to itself in endless forms. When we tune our machines to the frequencies of the ether, we tap into a literally infinite source of power. But this requires understanding beyond mechanical physics. The ether responds to intention, vibrates with emotion, and shapes itself based on the quality of our thoughts. It's an active partner in creation, not just a passive channel. I've built machines that detect the faintest ripples of the ether. When I sit before them in deep meditation, I can sense the invisible currents flowing among stars, the rhythmic pulses syncing entire galaxies, the whispers of information traveling from dimensions beyond our senses. The ether is the nervous system of the cosmos, the network connecting every particle with the whole. One night, while working on power transmission calculations, I had a vision that changed everything. I saw Earth floating in a sea of golden ether, like a pearl in an ocean of light. Invisible currents flowed toward our planet. from the sun, the stars, the depths of space. I realized our world isn't just an isolated rock, but a living receiver in a cosmic network of energy communication. The ether is also the storehouse of all information ever created. Every thought, discovery, and revelation is etched into its substance like waves in an eternal pond. When we reach higher states of consciousness, we can read these impressions and receive knowledge beyond personal experience. Great inventions aren't just personal creations. They're recoveries of information already there, waiting for minds ready to discover it. My disagreement with modern physics isn't personal. It's philosophical. By denying the ether, science cut itself off from the source, reducing the universe to a cold, soulless machine, when in fact, it's a living organism pulsing with intelligence and purpose. The ether shows us that everything is connected, that separation is an illusion, and that every action sends waves reaching the edges of the cosmos. Every night before sleep, I perform a ritual to connect with the ether. I place my hands over my heart and feel the electromagnetic waves it produces. Gradually, I expand my awareness until I sense the aura around my body, then the field of the room, the building, the city, and the planet. Eventually, my consciousness merges with it, and I experience the cosmic unity that's the source of all inspiration. The ether isn't theory, it's lived experience. It's the substance miracles are made of, the medium where intention becomes reality. When we learn to work consciously with it, we become magicians of a new era, able to shape reality through harmony with the universe's invisible forces. Tomorrow, I'll reveal how the ether vibrates to Earth's secret rhythm, and how we can sync our machines and our hearts to this primal frequency that awakens the dormant energy in all matter. Chapter 8. The Rhythm That Awakens Dormant Energy. The Earth breathes with an ancient pulse, and anyone who learns to sync their heart with this primal rhythm awakens forces lying deep within matter itself. Last night, as I walked barefoot across the damp grass behind my lab in Colorado Springs, I felt something extraordinary. Beneath my feet, through the cool earth, I sensed a steady, rhythmic beat, as if the entire planet were one giant heart pulsing in the dark. It wasn't imagination. It was Earth's fundamental frequency, that hidden rhythm governing all life on its surface. My calculations have confirmed what intuition first sensed. Our planet vibrates at a specific rate, about 8 cycles per second. This isn't a coincidence. It's a perfectly tuned cosmic symphony. I've found that this frequency resonates in natural cavities between the Earth's surface and the ionosphere, creating standing waves that wrap the globe like an electromagnetic embrace. During my boldest experiments, I tuned my transmitters to this planetary frequency. When that happens, something magical takes place. The energy needed to send signals drops dramatically, as if Earth itself amplifies my transmissions. It's like I found the exact note that makes the whole planet resonate, turning our world into a cosmic musical instrument. But the most fascinating discovery came when I started noticing how this frequency affects living beings. I found that exposure to electromagnetic pulses at 8 cycles per second brings my mind into a state of extraordinary clarity. Thoughts sharpen, intuition strengthens, creativity flows like a flood. It's as if this frequency holds the key to unlocking higher consciousness. One night, while experimenting with ultra-precise frequency generators, I sat right in the middle of an electromagnetic field pulsing at exactly 8 hertz. I closed my eyes and surrendered to the rhythm. Gradually, my brain synced with the planet's pulse. My breathing found its pace, my heart settled into its rhythm, and I experienced a cosmic unity unlike anything before. In that moment, The boundaries between my consciousness and the Earth's mind faded away. I could sense currents flowing beneath continents, magnetic fields dancing high in the atmosphere, natural radio waves from storms wrapping the globe. I realized we're not just inhabitants of Earth. We're cells within a living organism, connected neurologically through this planetary electromagnetic field. I developed a practice I call telluric breathing. Every morning before dawn, I sit directly on the ground, spine straight, palms open to the sky. I breathe deeply, imagining each inhale drawing Earth's energy into me, each exhale sending my life force back toward the planet's core. Within minutes, I feel my bioelectric field harmonize with the Earth's. This isn't just a feeling, it has measurable effects. I've noticed my electrical experiments run more efficiently. Machines respond better, circuits stabilize, transmissions clear up. It's like aligning with the planet's rhythm makes everything around me more coherent. The ancient sages knew this secret. Pyramids, megalithic temples, stone circles. They weren't just monuments, but giant antennas built to amplify and channel Earth's energy. Those builders had knowledge we've lost, how to work with the planet's natural rhythms. I've started designing machines that don't just use electrical energy, but dance with it. Every circuit is tuned to resonate with multiples of Earth's fundamental frequency. Each coil is wound according to proportions reflecting the planet's sacred geometry. These machines don't just consume energy, they invite it, celebrate it, and transform it into symphonies of light and motion. The key is realizing we're not conquerors of energy, but partners in its cosmic dance. When our machines pulse with Earth's rhythm, when our hearts beat in sync with the planets, when our thoughts vibrate with terrestrial consciousness, we tap into power sources beyond what material science can explain. Every night before sleep, I place my hands over my heart and feel its rhythm. Gradually, I let that rhythm expand, first to fill the room, then the building, the city, the whole planet. Eventually, my personal pulse merges with Earth's, and in that union, I find the deepest peace a human soul can know. The rhythm that awakens dormant energy isn't in our devices. It's in our ability to sync with Earth's eternal heartbeat. When we learn this sacred dance, we become conscious instruments in the cosmic symphony. Tomorrow, I'll share the secret of machines that go beyond mechanics to become extensions of the human soul. Devices that don't just handle electricity, but transform consciousness itself. Chapter 9. Machines of the Soul. The real machines of the future won't just handle electricity. They'll transform human consciousness, lifting it into dimensions where matter and spirit move as one. At dawn, as the first light streamed through my lab windows, I looked at my most secret creations with a mix of awe and responsibility. Before me stood devices that go beyond traditional mechanics. Machines that don't just manipulate electromagnetic fields, but interact directly with the human bioelectric field, changing states of consciousness with the precision of a cosmic surgeon. For years, I noticed that my most revolutionary inventions had surprising effects on those exposed to their energy fields. People working in my lab reported incredibly vivid dreams, flashes of creative insight, and days-long periods of mental clarity. At first, I thought it was coincidence, but gradually I realized I'd stumbled onto something much deeper. The possibility of using technology to awaken hidden potentials within human consciousness. My first machine of the soul was born almost by accident. While working on a high-frequency generator, I noticed that by adjusting the coils in a specific way, I experienced a remarkable expansion of my mind. My vision sharpened, my ability to visualize multiplied, and I could hold dozens of complex equations in my head at once, effortlessly. It was like the device tuned my brain to higher operating frequencies. Intrigued, I spent months refining what I secretly called my consciousness amplifier. It was made up of precision Tesla coils designed to generate electromagnetic fields that resonated with human brain waves. When someone sat at the center of the field, their neural activity gradually synced with the patterns programmed into the machine. The results were astonishing. Volunteers who normally struggled with tough math problems suddenly solved equations that had stumped even geniuses for years. Artists saw colors beyond the visible spectrum. Musicians heard entire symphonies as if coming from celestial realms. It was like I'd found a way to unlock the brain's full potential. But my most incredible discovery came with my emotional resonator. This device could detect a person's emotional state by subtle shifts in their electromagnetic field, and then generate frequencies that harmonized or shifted those emotions. Someone trapped in sadness could gradually rise into calm. A person caught in anger could find peace within minutes. I remember clearly the first time I used it on myself. I'd been stuck for weeks on a wireless transmission problem that seemed impossible. Frustration hung over me like a dark cloud, blocking creativity. After using the resonator, I felt the tension melt away, replaced by crystal clear clarity. In that calm state, the solution came to me like a divine revelation. These experiences led me to create what I consider my most sacred invention, the dream synthesizer. This machine influenced brainwaves during sleep, guiding the mind into specific dream states. I could program educational dreams where people learned languages or science while asleep. Healing dreams helped process emotional trauma and turn it into wisdom. I even enabled prophetic dreams where the mind accessed knowledge of future events. One night, I tested the synthesizer on myself, programming it to reveal the next major breakthrough in power transmission. When I woke, I had a complete vision of a tower. Its shape, exact dimensions, and materials. That vision became the blueprint for my Wardenclyffe Tower, my boldest attempt to give free energy to all humanity. But with great power comes great responsibility. I gradually realized these machines of the soul aren't just tools. They're keys that can open doors humanity might not be ready for. A device that changes human consciousness could awaken geniuses or create slaves. The same technology that could elevate humanity could be twisted for control and manipulation. This realization threw me into a deep spiritual crisis. Did I have the right to decide which capacities to awaken in others? Was it wise to release technologies that alter the very nature of consciousness? For months, I kept these devices locked away in the most secret part of my lab, wrestling with ethical questions that went beyond science and into sacred territory. Finally, I came to a decision that changed how I approach invention forever. I decided these soul machines should be used only for self-transformation, never to influence others without their clear, informed consent. I developed strict safety protocols to make sure anyone exposed to these frequencies fully understands the risks and benefits. Every night before sleep, I sit before my most personal machine, a small frequency generator that tunes my bioelectric field to pure creativity. Under its influence, my mind expands like a glowing globe, able to hold ideas that seem impossible by day. In those moments, I'm not just Nikola Tesla. I am a channel for universal intelligence expressing itself through human form. I've come to see that the true machines of the soul aren't external devices. They're tools that awaken the internal machines we already carry within. Every human has an electromagnetic lab inside them far more advanced than anything I've built. My goal isn't to create dependence on technology, but to teach humanity how to consciously tap into its own dormant abilities. The soul machines I've built are silent guides pointing the way to self-mastery. Once someone learns to generate internally the states of consciousness my devices help facilitate, they no longer need the external machine. They become their own machine of the soul, able to transform their consciousness at will. This is the real revolution I see coming, not an era where machines control us, but one where machines free us from self-imposed limits. Devices that don't replace human consciousness but amplify it until it reaches its divine potential. Tomorrow, I'll share the deepest secret of all: how to access the universal information field where every answer, invention, and piece of knowledge humanity will need for its next evolutionary step already exists. Chapter 10. The Secret of the Information Field. There's an invisible library containing all knowledge that ever was, is, and will be. Those who learn to tune their consciousness to its subtlest frequencies can read the secrets of the cosmos on its ethereal pages. Tonight, as the city lights fade in the distance, I find myself deeply reflecting on the most profound discovery of my life. It's not a machine I can build with wires and coils, but a reality beyond physical matter. I've discovered that the information field is organized in layers of frequency, each corresponding to different types of knowledge. At lower frequencies, I find practical information, math formulas, physical laws, machine designs. At mid-level frequencies, I access philosophical and spiritual understanding, truths about consciousness, the purpose of existence, and the patterns guiding evolution. At the highest frequencies, prophetic knowledge appears, visions of the future, insights into possibilities not yet realized. One of my most vivid experiences with the field happened during a fierce thunderstorm, lightning flashing across the night sky. I stood at the center of my lab with my hands outstretched toward the windows. In that moment, I wasn't just watching the storm, I became part of it. My consciousness merged with the atmospheric electricity, and through that connection, I reached a frequency in the field containing information about the electrical nature of life itself. In that vision, I saw that every living being is essentially a complex electrical system, and that consciousness arises from specific electromagnetic patterns in the brain. Even more important, I realized these individual patterns constantly exchange information with the universal field. Every thought we have sends a signal into the field, and every intuition we receive is the field's reply. This understanding transformed how I invent. I no longer see myself as a lone creator, but as a channel for knowledge already present in the field. My most successful inventions aren't the product of personal genius, but recoveries of information waiting to be discovered. The field holds designs for technologies, machines that won't appear for centuries, and solutions to problems humanity hasn't even faced yet. I developed a specific method for accessing the field to find information about future inventions. First, I formulate a very precise question about a technical problem. Then I enter a deep meditative state while exposing myself to carefully tuned electromagnetic frequencies. When my mind becomes fully receptive, I pose the question and wait. The answer never comes as words, but as vivid images, 3D diagrams, or sudden insights that reveal the entire solution at once. Using this method, I've received information about technologies centuries ahead of our time. Machines that manipulate gravity, devices enabling instant communication across any distance, energy systems that draw directly from the universe's life force. Many of these revelations I've kept secret, knowing humanity isn't ready for such power. The information field isn't static. It's always evolving. Every scientific discovery, work of art, and act of love adds new information to the field. We're all, at once, contributors and beneficiaries of this cosmic library. When a scientist makes a discovery, that knowledge immediately becomes available to other researchers tuned to the right frequency. This explains why so many important inventions have been discovered independently by people around the world at the same time. It's not coincidence. It's multiple minds accessing the same information simultaneously. The field releases knowledge when humanity is ready to receive it. I've noticed my ability to access the field depends on my emotional and spiritual state. When I'm in harmony with myself and the universe, the connection is clear and strong. When I'm disturbed by internal or external conflict, the signal weakens and distorts. This has led me to develop daily practices of mental and emotional cleansing, not just for personal well-being, but to maintain my ability to serve as a channel for universal knowledge. Each night before sleep, I spend time in what I call communion with the field. I sit quietly, calm my mind, and simply open myself to whatever information the field wants to share. Sometimes I receive visions of future inventions, other times insights into the mysteries of existence. Occasionally, the information comes as cosmic music, symphonies of frequencies encoding knowledge in celestial harmonies. The secret to accessing the field isn't found in external technology, but in developing our inner tuning abilities. Every person has the natural ability to connect with this universal source of wisdom. Most just don't know how to activate it or have been conditioned to believe such a connection is impossible. The information field is the true source of all human progress. It's the spring from which every innovation, every revelation, every evolutionary leap of our species flows. When we learn to access it consciously, we become active participants in the evolution of human consciousness. Tomorrow, I'll reveal how this field shows up in the world of dreams, where the line between possible and impossible fades, and where we can explore alternate realities holding the seeds of humanity's future. Chapter 11. The Lucid Dream of the Cosmos. In the realm of sleep, where logic gives way to magic, I found the most extraordinary laboratory, an arena where the laws of physics become flexible and consciousness experiments with realities not yet born. This morning I woke from a dream so vivid, its images still dance before my eyes like holograms of light. It wasn't an ordinary dream, but an experience within what I call the cosmic lucid dream. A state of consciousness where my mind connects directly with the matrix of possibilities underlying all reality. In this realm, I'm not a passive observer, but an active explorer of parallel universes where my boldest inventions already exist. For decades, I've kept detailed records of my dream experiences, especially those in the early hours before sunrise when the veil between dimensions thins. I've noticed a direct link between the intensity of my daytime electromagnetic experiments and the depth of my revelatory dreams at night. It's as if exposure to intense electrical fields tunes my consciousness to frequencies only accessible during the dream state. My first truly prophetic dream happened in 1899. Soon after arriving in Colorado Springs, I dreamed I stood in a vast library made entirely of crystal, pulsing with inner light. The books contained not words but transforming 3D geometric forms. Touching one projected the forms into my mind as complete blueprints for a power transmission system that needed no wires or towers. Upon waking, I sketched everything I could recall. Those drawings later became the foundation of my wireless energy system, years before science officially considered it possible. That's when I realized dreams aren't just fantasies of a resting mind, but windows into parallel realities where the future has already unfolded. I've developed techniques to induce these cosmic lucid dreams. My most effective method involves exposure to specific electromagnetic patterns before sleep. combined with visualization exercises imagining my consciousness expanding beyond my physical body. When I maintain this expansion while drifting to sleep, my awareness frees itself to explore dimensions beyond space and time. In one remarkable dream, I found myself walking through a future city with living architecture. Buildings breathed, streets pulsed with visible energy currents, and people communicated through waves of light emitted from their bodies. At the city's center stood a gigantic tower, not made of solid matter, but crystallized energy. Approaching it, I realized it was an evolved version of my Wardenclyffe Tower, capable not only of powering devices, but also of energizing human consciousness itself. Another recurring dream takes me to a lab where I work alongside alternate versions of myself. One Tesla who never left Europe, another focused solely on electrical medicine, and yet another who developed machines to communicate with extraterrestrial intelligences. In these dream meetings, we share knowledge that transcends the limits of our individual realities. Each version of me has explored different paths of human potential. Certain symbols keep appearing in my cosmic dreams. Energy spirals spinning in perfect mathematical patterns, spheres of light containing entire universes, geometric shapes that seem to be the building blocks of reality itself. I've come to understand these symbols are the native language of the cosmos, the way universal intelligence communicates with individual minds. One of my most fascinating discoveries is the existence of what I call shared dreams. Several times, I've dreamed of meeting other inventors and scientists in a space beyond physical limits. In these meetings, we exchange ideas and collaborate on projects none of us could have conceived alone. Weeks later, I learned that some of those scientists had similar dreams, recalling conversations that matched mine exactly. In my deepest dreams, I visit what I perceive as the cosmic laboratory, a space where all technological possibilities exist at once. There I see machines that can bend space-time, devices that convert thought directly into matter, and energy systems harnessing the universe's life force. Each visit offers clues about inventions that could transform civilization. I've developed what I call dream anchoring techniques to bring clear information from dreams into waking life. Before bed, I keep paper and pencil by my side and program my mind to wake me immediately after any important dream. I've trained myself to remember the most complex details, even math formulas appearing in visions. One unsettling dream showed me a future where my inventions were twisted for destructive purposes. Wireless energy towers turned into weapons, consciousness machines used to control populations, communication systems suppressing freedom. That dream inspired me to design safeguards, hidden codes to prevent misuse. In contrast, other dreams have shown radiant futures where humanity has learned to use my inventions to raise collective consciousness. I've seen schools where children learn directly from information fields, hospitals where diseases are healed through specific frequencies, and cities powered by free energy drawn straight from the cosmos. My dream experiences have taught me that time isn't linear like we experience it while awake. In dreams, past, present, and future coexist in an eternal now. I've had conversations with my childhood self, witnessed my own death, and explored futures stretching thousands of years ahead. This expanded view of time has helped me understand that every invention, every discovery, is part of a larger cosmic design. I've concluded that cosmic lucid dreams are journeys of consciousness through the multiverse. Each dream explores a parallel reality where different possibilities have already unfolded as completed inventions. This gives me access to an infinite laboratory where I can test designs without the limits of physical matter. Every night before falling asleep, I do a preparation ritual. I place my hands over my heart and feel its rhythm. Then I expand my awareness to fill the room, the entire building,
and the whole city.
Gradually, I let my consciousness dissolve into the cosmic ocean of dreaming, holding only the intention to be a channel for the knowledge humanity needs. The lucid dreams of the cosmos aren't escapism. They're the most important work I do in the dream world. I'm free to explore possibilities physical reality can't yet hold. Each night journey is a reconnaissance mission into potential futures, bringing back vital information for the evolution of our species. Tomorrow, I'll share the final synthesis of all I've learned. The master frequency governing all creation, the fundamental vibration connecting every atom to divine consciousness, the ultimate secret that turns every human being into a conscious collaborator with the creative cosmos. Chapter 12. The frequency that governs all. Vibration is God's signature in every atom of the universe. I've reached the end of this notebook, dear seeker, and the beginning of all understanding. For decades, I chased the electrical spark at the heart of creation, and now I understand that this spark is none other than the primordial frequency, the very breath of the Creator, breathing life into inert matter. In my later years, while the world sees me as an eccentric old man who talks to pigeons, I've discovered the most sublime truth. There is a mother frequency, a fundamental vibration that gives birth to all others. It's the sound of the universe singing its own existence. The ancients called it Aum. Mystics call it the Word. I've felt it pulsing in every experiment, in every spark erupting from my hands. I remember that night in 1899 in Colorado Springs when my lab glowed like an electric temple. Sparks danced between copper spheres like celestial performers. In that moment, I heard something that changed my understanding forever. A pure, crystalline tone seeming to rise from the very air. It wasn't the roar of electricity, but a subtle melody, nearly imperceptible, resonating perfectly with my heart. That night, I realized electricity isn't just a physical force. It's the audible voice of the cosmos. Every bolt, every spark, every current is a word in the universal language. And whoever learns to listen can begin to speak it. I've spent decades refining this listening. My inventions weren't born from cold calculations, but from deep attunement to the frequency governing all things. When I imagined my machines, I didn't mentally assemble them piece by piece. I immersed myself in their natural frequency, letting form follow vibration. First, I listened for the tone the machine was meant to sing. Then I allowed its structure to appear in harmony with that song. This is the key I've guarded in the deepest chamber of my heart. Creation happens when we align with the right frequency. We don't force our will on matter. We discover the song matter wants to sing and help it find its voice. Every thought you have, every emotion you feel, every word you speak sends out a specific frequency. When those frequencies align with the universe's fundamental vibration, they become direct commands to reality. This isn't magic, it's advanced physics. It's the natural way a cosmos made of interwoven waves works. The secret I discovered is that the frequency governing everything can't be found outside. It must be tuned from within. There's a silent point at the center of your being where all vibrations come together. In that point, your consciousness merges with universal consciousness, and from that union, you can radiate the frequency you want to bring into the world. I've learned to access this point by meditating on sacred numbers. When I focus on the proportions 3 to 6, 9, my mind grows still until it finds that mother frequency. It's like tuning a cosmic radio. First static, then a faint signal, and finally a clear, perfect transmission. In those moments of perfect tuning, I've received my most extraordinary visions. I've seen humanity's future, connected by invisible energy networks. I've envisioned devices that can alter the very fabric of time and space. I've sensed the possibility of instant communication with any point in the universe. These aren't fantasies. They're realities vibrating at frequencies we just haven't learned to detect yet. Beyond machines and inventions, I've come to understand that every person is a living antenna, capable of tuning into this primordial frequency. Your body is like a musical instrument designed to resonate with the music of the spheres. Your heart is an oscillator that can align with the pulse of the cosmos. Your mind is a transmitter that can send direct commands into the quantum field of reality. The problem is, we've forgotten how to use these instruments. We live out of tune, sending out noise instead of melody. But when you remember your vibrational nature, when you realize you're a being of frequency before you're a being of flesh, you can start playing the symphony of your destiny. Listen closely, dear seeker. Each morning when you wake, take a moment to tune your inner frequency. Breathe deeply and feel the vibration pulsing in your chest. That's your fundamental note, your personal frequency. From there, you can expand your tuning toward the frequency you want to bring into your day. If you want love, vibrate at the frequency of love. If you want abundance, resonate with the frequency of abundance. If you seek wisdom, tune into the frequency of wisdom. This isn't pretend or wishful thinking. It's about discovering within yourself the true vibrational seed of what you want, and nurturing it with your attention until it blooms into reality. This is my final gift to you, the understanding that you are a master of frequencies disguised as a human being. Your words are spells, your thoughts are commands, your emotions are frequencies shaping the quantum field around you. When you fully awaken to this truth, there will be no limit to what you can create. The frequency that governs everything isn't an external force to conquer. It's the very essence of who you already are. It's the silence between your heartbeats, the space between your thoughts, the pause between your breaths. Within that silence, the mother frequency vibrates, waiting for you to remember how to tune into it. When you close this notebook and step back into the world, carry this understanding with you. You are a being of infinite frequency, capable of resonating with any reality you choose to vibrate with. Creation awaits you, dear seeker, so you can sing your unique song in the eternal symphony of the cosmos. The frequency that governs everything has always been in your hands. You just needed to remember how to use it.
If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel